In October of 2021, Zillow suddenly announced that it would stop signing new contracts to purchase homes. At first, the explanation sounded temporary. The company said it was experiencing renovation and operational capacity problems. It needed time to work through the homes it had already purchased. But 2 weeks later, the real announcement arrived. Zillow was not simply pausing its home buying operation, it was shutting down. One of America's best known real estate technology companies had discovered that data could not protect it from a $400 million mistake. And the most surprising part was this: Zillow did not fail because it lacked information. It failed while possessing more real estate information than almost any organization in the country. Welcome to Vitalis Essala Leadership Lab, where management theory becomes real leadership practice. My name is Vitalis Essala, and this season 2, the information advantage, how great leaders make better decisions. I want you to understand how companies use data either to succeed or to fail, or they misuse data. To understand what happened with Zillow, we have to go back to what made Zillow successful in the first place. Zillow was built around information. You probably know that. For generations, buying a home meant depending heavily on real estate professionals to understand property values. Most ordinary people had limited access to the information needed to estimate what a house was worth. Zillow helped change that. Its most recognizable innovation was the Zestimate, an automated estimate of a home's market value. Behind that estimate was an enormous collection of property records. Market information was there, sales transactions, tax assessment, square footage, location, and other details. Most of what the buyer needed was there. By 2021, Zillow reported that its database contained information on more than 135 million American homes. That's enormous. The company had become remarkably good at organizing complicated real estate information and presenting it in a form that ordinary consumers could understand. But Zillow eventually made a much bigger decision. Instead of merely estimating what homes were worth, Zillow would begin buying and selling the homes itself. The service was called Zillow Offers. The idea was attractive. A homeowner interested in selling could request an offer from Zillow. Zillow would evaluate the property, make an offer, purchase the home, complete necessary repairs or renovations, and then place it back on the market. Good deal. For the homeowner, this could mean greater convenience and fewer complications, even more predictable selling process. For Zillow, it appeared to be an opportunity to transform information into an entirely new business. The company already had the data, it had the technology, it had the brand, it had the algorithms, and now it was prepared to put its own money behind its estimates. That was good business. That decision changed everything though. Estimating the current value of a home is one challenge. It is. Predicting what that home will sell for several months later, after repairs, labor costs, financing expenses, closing costs, market changes, and unexpected delays, that is something very different. The dashboard may display one number, but behind that number are dozens of assumptions about the future. During 2021, Zillow expanded its home buying and selling operation rapidly. It sold, hear this, it sold more than 15,000 homes that year, generating approximately, and hear this again, $6 billion in revenue through Zillow Offers. So this was not a small business. We're talking about a giant, a mammoth in the home buying industry, or home selling, however you want to put it. From the outside, that scale could look like progress. More homes purchased, more homes sold, even more revenue generated, more evidence that a technology company could disrupt the traditional real estate market. But revenue does not reveal the entire story. As Zillow purchased more homes, the company was also increasing its exposure to every error hidden inside its forecasts. Imagine that your system overestimates the future selling price of one home by a relatively small amount. That single mistake might be manageable. But suppose the same weakness influences hundreds or thousands of purchasing decisions. Now the organization does not have one inaccurate estimate. It has an entire inventory built on inaccurate assumptions. That is one of the dangers of scale. Everybody likes and wants to scale. But we need wisdom, business insight, business interpretation, data interpretation. Scale does not only multiply success, it also multiplies error, or the likelihood of making mistakes. And Zillow's challenge was not limited to predicting prices. Homes had to be inspected. They had to be repaired. Contractors had to be available. Materials had to arrive. Renovation had to be completed. The properties had to be placed back on the market and sold before financing, maintenance, insurance, taxes, and other holding costs continued to accumulate. Because the more they held the home unsold, the more those costs increased. The information system could estimate those factors, but an estimate could not repair a kitchen. An algorithm could not make an unavailable contractor appear. And a dashboard could not eliminate disruptions created by a pandemic or labor shortages, supply chain problems. With globalization, we have supply chain problems all the time. The algorithm could not predict a rapidly changing housing market. The numbers were describing reality, but they were not controlling reality. That's the difference. By the third quarter of 2021, Zillow had purchased a large number of homes for more than the company then expected to receive when those homes were eventually sold. The warning could no longer remain hidden inside projections. It was now sitting on Zillow's balance sheet in the form of thousands of physical houses. On October 18, Zillow stopped signing new home purchase contracts. Then, on November 2nd, Zillow announced that it would wind down Zillow Offers completely. The company's CEO acknowledged that the unpredictability of forecasting future home prices was far greater than Zillow had anticipated. By the end of 2021, Zillow had recorded approximately $407.9 million in inventory write-downs connected to homes whose expected selling value had fallen below what the company had paid. The consequences did not end with the houses. The wind down was expected to reduce Zillow's workforce by approximately 25%. People who had not designed the forecasting models and may not have made the expansion decisions, those people would still experience the consequences. That is why information management is never merely a technical matter. Behind every dashboard are decisions. Behind every decision are people. There is such a thing called as corporate social responsibility. And behind every number may be an assumption that no one has challenged recently enough. Zillow's experience does not prove that data is unreliable or that leaders should distrust technology. No, that would be the wrong lesson. Zillow's data and technology had already created enormous value. We cannot deny that. This estimate helped make property information more accessible, and Zillow's core digital business remained strong. The deeper problem was the distance between what the information could reasonably reveal and the confidence placed in what it appeared to predict. The model could provide an estimate. Leadership still had to determine how much uncertainty surrounded that estimate, how quickly the company should expand, and how much financial exposure it should accept when the forecast was wrong. That requires intellectual humility. A leader must be able to look at an impressive dashboard and still ask, what could this system be missing? What assumptions must remain true for this decision to succeed? What are the people closest to the operation seeing that senior leadership cannot see from the numbers. Always include the people closest to the operation, the day-to-day operation. And the leader must ask this question: what happens to the organization if we are wrong? That kind of humility is emotional intelligence at the executive level. It is the ability to manage excitement, confidence, ambition, and even fear while making consequential decisions. Transformational leaders do not reject bold ideas. That's not what I'm talking about. But they also do not confuse boldness with certainty. They create organizations that can learn, question their assumptions, recognize warning signs, and adjust before small errors become organizational crises. And servant-minded leaders remember something else. When a strategy fails, the cost is rarely confined to a spreadsheet. Employees, customers, investors, families, and communities can all be affected. So the decisions the leaders make impact real life people, real families, real communities. The Zillow story leaves leaders with one essential principle. The organization with the most data does not automatically possess the information advantage. The true advantage belongs to the organization that understands what its data can reveal, recognizes what it cannot predict, and maintains the courage to question its own confidence. Because the goal of leadership is not to collect more data. The goal is to make better decisions. If you found value in this story and want practical leadership insights like this every week, consider subscribing. This is Vitalis Essala Leadership Lab, where management theory becomes real leadership practice. I'll see you in the next video.